Hi, everybody. It is Kara Carrero from karacarrero.com and consulting.karacarrero.com. I wanted to go through some different options for alternatives to subscriber pop-ups. So maybe you've seen where Google will be rolling out, I think in January, penalties per se for having pop-ups, especially on mobile, because it decreases reader usability. So I wanted to kind of go through some effective ways that you can still collect email addresses and kind of bring in subscribers. So it's a beautiful day outside, so I have my windows open and I'm trying to do this during my youngest nap time. And I'm hoping that I can get this to work. I've had a few hang-ups. Yay! Okay, so I am first going to start a screen share with you. So, hey, there's my screen. So, if you go into Photoshop, then what you can do is you can actually create some different types of buttons. So I used my font that I would normally use and just tried to come up with something catchy. And what I did is I did my full width, and I did my full screen width, and then I did about 100 pixels, and then I saved as, and so you can go in and save as, or you can export as, and then you can export it as a photo. And so like I would click on this, and then this is subscribe, and then I would save it, and then I can change my options as much as I want, or you can also export. And I actually usually export, but I just wanted to show you that you can also save as, and you can save it as a template, so you can come back in and you can change the text and save a different picture. So you can see that I have my blog content size is 680, so I went ahead and wanted it to be the full width. And then I've got 100 pixels for my height on this one. And then I would export it and all would be good. So anyways, I already have some of that set up. And so I was going to show you that if you go in, and I'm going to open up another tab. And I'm going to go through like the easy way. If you don't know how to code or do anything like that, there are still some really easy ways to get this done. So I'm going to act like I'm adding a new post, if I can get this to work. And then I'm going to go through some different options. Wow, this is slow now, isn't it? Well, I will go ahead and show you that I have Sumomi, but other people use HelloBar, so that's an option that you can do. I like to go ahead and create a button. So instead of this right here having, say, an actual collection box for the email, I have Learn More, and you can click on that. And whenever you click on it, it's going to actually take you to my subscribe page. And so everybody comes to the same spot with that. So that's one alternative, is to go ahead and have a HelloBar type of thing at the very top. But making a landing page, I think, is really going to be everybody's first. You really need to have a page that people can come to. It's easier, but it's also going to be necessary for this next part. So like I said, I'm going to do this the very easy way. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to add media. And so I showed you that I just made those two little pop-up, well, not pop-up, that's the whole point why we're doing this video. I made those two little images to be links. And so let me see. If I go in, then, sorry this is running so slow. I think it knows I'm trying to do a video. Okay, so subscribe, I just did that one, but I'm gonna do these two because these are the two that I wanted. And so you can see I did one that was just subscribe, and then I have one that says subscribe and join the thousands of other parents. So anyways, I need to go back and make sure that this is full size. And so then I'm also going to center it, because not every page of mine is going to have this as a 680 width. There might be some full width pages that I want to put this on. So I'm going to go ahead and center it. And then I'm going to click on it and click Insert Edit Link. And then I'm going to use the search bar and, oops, spell subscribe right. Subscribe to the newsletter, and I'm going to add the link. And I want to make sure that whenever I'm adding this link, that I'm actually going to go ahead and leave it as coming within my site and not open it in a new tab. You can choose whichever you feel best, but I prefer that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this code in the text editor. And so I can use this code wherever I want. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have my VA come in, and I'm going to have her help me. And she is going to go ahead and help me get this set up. So ignore that I just did that copy of the text. I'm going to actually just copy the visual right now. So I'll go ahead for the sake of it on here and do right click and copy. And then I would go over to my posts, and for all my published posts, I'm going to have her come in and I'm going to have her find a place to put it. So I can put this wherever I want. Well, I want it somewhere around the middle of my post or somewhere logical. So I'm going to put it, say, right here, because it's a good break. And I can just come in and paste even, oh, well, now that I say that, I can paste even the picture. And so now I'm going to go ahead and update this post. And then whenever you go into the post, what you'll see is you will see that there's this subscribe bar. And so we scroll down, and then there's subscribe, and that's going to show up regardless of if somebody has ads turned off or whatever. So you can do that very easily for all of your posts. And like I said, I'm going to pay somebody to do it because it's just not something that at this time I really want to do, but it's very easy. Copy and paste that. Okay, so, and actually for my VA, her name is Shannon. I'm going to put subscribe bar, Shannon subscribe bar, so that whenever she comes in, she knows where to get this code, and I don't have to worry about it at all. And if you wanted something more low profile, then you can do the exact same thing with the other one. You can make your subscribe bars to be whatever size, shape you want. I personally like that one. I like the way that it looks on my site, and I like the way that it looks on mobile. So sometimes you're going to find that what looks really good on your computer may not look very good on mobile. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let's come in and let's actually grab this text. Oops, let's delete this first. Okay, so let's grab this code. And what you can do is, these are some other ways that you can really capture leads and capture email addresses. I personally have the Genesis framework, and I really appreciate that. And in Genesis, there is something called Simple Hooks that you can install. And so whenever you go into Simple Hooks, it looks something like this. And it looks a little bit scary, intimidating, and overwhelming if you are not familiar with coding. So there is, where did it? I'm going to go ahead and close this out. There is something from genesistutorials.com that's called the Visual Hook Guide. And you can come in and you can see where these hooks would go inside of a Genesis theme. And so you can come in and you can put this code that you copied and pasted. And so I'm going to show you, so see where this says Genesis entry content? I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm I'm going to actually search for it. Entry. Okay. So actually, I'm going to show you where the header is, because for some reason, the entry content, it actually doesn't show it at the top for me. It automatically puts it at the very bottom. So I'm going to hit Save Changes, and then I'm going to show you on a post what it looks like. So one of my recent posts was about teaching kids to respectfully disagree. I'm going to go in and click on this, and you can see that right underneath the header, it's going to have that subscribe bar. You can choose through this visual hook guide where you want to put it. So if you put it right underneath that header, here's the thing that I don't like about it. That if I was to go to an archive page, so here is, if it'll let me click on it. Here is an archive page. What I don't like about it is I don't like the way that it shows up in an archive page, because it shows up underneath. It's part of your metadata for your header. So I don't like that. You will see that, let me find where I put that. I'm going to go ahead and save this since I don't want that there. But I am going to put it in the footer probably eventually. So you will see that I have something in my header right now. So if I click on this post right here, you're going to see that I have this create a stress and frustration-free zone at home. I'm actually trying to push a friend's product right now, and so I made that in Photoshop, and I'm trying to put that there. Well, whenever her launch, well, it's two of them. Whenever both of them finish launching, I'm going to replace that with my subscriber. So I actually did, I believe, the entry header, no, the before entry. So let me see, before entry, maybe I didn't, maybe, sorry. Okay, right here, it's before loop. I will say that some of them haven't been updated in this visual hook guide. So I put it in the before loop because I didn't want it to show up underneath every single title in my archive pages, but I wanted it to go ahead and be at the very, very top. I also personally prefer that none of this is separated by anything. It's just my preference. And then if you go to my home page, I also like that it's above the fold, and just that it looks nice and clean. So again, those are just some preferences that you can set up based on what you want. I'm going to, like I said, I'll show you this visual hook guide. I'm going to probably go ahead and do a Genesis after entry, or yeah, I'll do an after entry because that's where I want it. So after entry, I'm going to go ahead and put that there, and then we'll go in and we'll look at a post and see how it looks. Okay, apparently we need to give it a second. Okay, and so you can see that it's down here. It's underneath my comments. I can move it up later if I want to, but right now I just want to put it at the very bottom of the entry. So something else that you can do regardless of if you have Genesis is you can use this plugin called What Would Seth Godin Do? It's okay. Again, for me, it's not necessarily something that I really, really love. I'm going to go in here and do a different one just for the sake of showing you how it looks. So what would Seth Godin do? Just the placement of it is maybe sometimes not my favorite. It kind of goes along with the Genesis hooks that I was just telling you about. So it's up to you. But the benefit of it is that you can do a message for new visitors, but you can also do a message for returning visitors. And it doesn't even have to be an image, but it can. And so I'm just going to show you. This time I'll do an after post just so you can see. I'm going to put the exact same thing for new and returning visitors, and I'm going to put it as after post, and then on posts only, because that's, well, actually, just for the sake of it, I'll do it on posts and pages, and I'm going to hit save settings. And then if we go in, let's go ahead, let's go to a page, and the podcast is a page, so we will see what it looks like at the if it's there. And apparently I need to clear my cache because it didn't do it this time. Well, let's just go to a post and I can show it to you. Okay, so you can see it at the very bottom with my name, and that's with the what would Seth Godin do. You can do before post, so save settings, and I'll go ahead and refresh here. And like I said, it's going to be that same issue as the simple hooks, which I just don't prefer, which is one of the reasons why I don't usually use it, at least at the top of my posts. And I usually just use simple hooks for the ease of things, but if you're not comfortable with that or you don't have the Genesis framework, then what would Seth Godin do, also known as WWSGD, is a really, really great option. So anyways, these are some very easy ways to go ahead and get you on your way to not having to even worry about, let's see if I can stop my screen share. There we go. So that way you don't even have to worry about not being able to have a pop-up. You are set, you're covered, you have a bar at the top. You have your own self-made buttons wherever you decide to have them. In fact, you can make like a big square one that goes as a widget in your sidebar. You can have them within your post at the beginning, at the end. You can have them wherever you want. And you can make them as catchy and appealing as you would like. And it also kind of increases your page views because it takes them to another spot on your website. So don't worry about not being able to have pop-ups, because this is a really easy way to do it. So if you have any questions, concerns, anything like that, go ahead and let me know. I would love to try to help you if I can. So happy not worrying, because January is going to be here sooner than you know it, but you can do it. Bye.